What's up guys, today's video I am gonna do a detailed review and pick the top 5 best cheap smartphones 2022. After doing proper researches, we came to the conclusion that meets the best in terms of overall. Kindly leave a like if you find this helpful, and I'd appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications if you haven't. We will be also providing affiliates link to purchase from Amazon. Kindly use to for best offers and purchase from anywhere in the world. We'll be back with more videos. The Redmi Note 11T 5G carries forward the company's Evol design language, which makes it familiar and recognizable. It has a big display with a hole for the front camera, and fairly thin bezels at the top and sides while the chin is thicker. The frame and the back panel are made of plastic but feel sturdy. You'll notice the 195 grams weight when you pick this device up, but it is manageable. The Redmi Note 11T 5G has its power and volume buttons on the right. These are within reach when holding the device. The power button has an integrated capacitive fingerprint scanner which makes it easy to unlock this phone. On the other side, you'll only find the hybrid dual SIM tray. Xiaomi has gone with stereo speakers on the Redmi Note 11T 5G, the grill on the top is positioned next to the secondary microphone and the IR emitter. At the bottom, the primary speaker is accompanied by the USB Type-C port, primary microphone, and 3.5mm audio jack. The highlight of the Redmi Note 11T 5G is its MediaTek Dimensity 810 SoC. This octa-core chip has 2 ARM Cortex-A76 cores clocked at 2.4 GHz as well as 6 ARM Cortex-A55 cores clocked at 2 GHz. The lower-priced variants of the Redmi Note 11T 5G get 6 GB of RAM with either 64 GB or 128 GB of storage. The higher-end variant has 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage, and this is the one I had for this review. Xiaomi has added a memory extension feature which claims to use up to 3 GB of storage space as additional RAM. This virtual RAM feature was enabled by default on my device. You do get expandable storage, but it comes at the cost of the second nano SIM, since this phone has a hybrid dual SIM slot. The Redmi Note 11T 5G has a crisp display, and it does get bright enough when outdoors. The phone appears quite slim and is comfortable to hold given that it features a 6.5-inch display. There is a 3.5mm headphone jack at the bottom along with the single speaker, the primary mic and the Type-C USB port. The fingerprint reader is embedded in the power button, which sits on the right side, along with the volume rocker placed above it. The fingerprint reader is easy to reach and unlocks the device instantly. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 768G features an octa-core setup with one 2.8 GHz Creo 475 Gold core, another 2.4 GHz Creo 475 Gold core, and 6 1.8 GHz Creo 475 Silver cores. Compared to the Snapdragon 750G processor used in many other smartphones at this price point, the 768G offers higher CPU and GPU clock speeds and is built on a 7nm manufacturing process, instead of 8nm. Ku has launched the Z3 in 3 configurations in India. There is a 6GB RAM plus 128GB storage variant, an 8GB RAM plus 128GB storage option, and an 8GB RAM plus 256GB storage variant. All of them support up to a 1TB microSD card for expansion using the hybrid SIM slot. The iQOO Z3 uses Vivo's Fun Touch OS. Currently at version 11.1, it is based on Android 11, and my unit was running the May 2021 Android security update. At the time of writing this review, iQOO has yet to announce anything about a move to Vivo's next-gen Origin OS, which is already available on the Chinese variant of this phone. The 6.5-inch FHD Plus LCD on the iQOO Z3 features a refresh rate of 120Hz and a touch sampling rate of 180Hz, which is useful while playing games. It uses reinforced Panda glass, which picks up fingerprints easily, and these are also quite hard to wipe off. The display gets sufficiently bright in sunlight. Colors appear a bit saturated but text and images look sharp. The REALME X7 5G is fairly compact by today's standards. The Nebula version is 8.3mm thick and weighs 179 grams while Space Silver shaves that down to 8.1mm and 176 grams. The back and the frame are made of polycarbonate, and the front is an unspecified kind of glass with a protective film pre-applied. REALME also says this phone is splash resistant, but there's no IP rating. This is an easy phone to use one-handed. The 6.4-inch screen has narrow borders except for the chin at the bottom, and the rear is rounded to meet the sides. REALME has placed the power button on the right and the volume buttons on the left. There's an in-display fingerprint reader, plus the front camera is embedded in the upper left corner of the screen. On the bottom, you'll see a USB Type-C port, single speaker, and dual nano SIM tray, with no space for a microSD card. The 3 cameras on the rear are extruded individually, which is more or less the current style. Interestingly, REALME has gone with more elaborate packaging than usual, and there are some neat extras in the box. In addition to the X7 5G itself, REALME includes a 65 watts charger, more on this later, USB Type-C cable, clear plastic case, a SIM eject pin, and a Type-C to 3.5mm dongle. A little under a year after launching its first high-end 5G-enabled phone, the X50 Pro 5G, review, the new X7 5G and X7 Pro 5G aim to make this new standard more common. There are no 5G networks in India, yet, but this is becoming somewhat of a must-have feature anyway. REALME promises dual SIM, dual standby plus support for all major bands, though it remains to be seen which ones operators in India will use. 5G is enabled by the MediaTek Dimensity 800U SoC, which is quite new and likely to become popular. The Dimensity 800U is a 7nm octa-core processor with 2 high-power ARM Cortex-A76 cores clocked at up to 2.4 GHz, plus 6 efficient Cortex-A55 cores clocked at up to 2 GHz. It also features an integrated Mali G57MC3 GPU, Wi-Fi 5, Bluetooth 5.1, and multiple satellite navigation systems. Motorola Moto G71 Mobile was launched on 18 November 2021. The phone comes with a 6.40-inch touchscreen display with a resolution of 1080 by 2400 pixels at a pixel density of 409 pixels per inch, p, and an aspect ratio of 20:9. Motorola Moto G71 is powered by an octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 processor. It comes with 6 GB of RAM. The Motorola Moto G71 runs Android 11 and is powered by a 5000 mAh battery. As far as the cameras are concerned, the Motorola Moto G71 on the rear packs a triple camera setup featuring a 50-megapixel primary camera with an f/1.8 aperture and a pixel size of 1.28 micron, an 8-megapixel camera with an f/2.2 aperture and a pixel size of 1.12 micron, and a 2-megapixel camera with an f/2.4 aperture and a pixel size of 1.75 micron. The rear camera setup has autofocus. It has a single front camera setup for selfies, featuring a 16-megapixel sensor with an f/2.2 aperture and a pixel size of 1.0 micron. The Motorola Moto G71 runs MyUX is based on Android 11 and packs 128 GB of inbuilt storage. Motorola Edge 20 Fusion is physically bigger than the Edge 20, which it was launched alongside. The Edge 20 Fusion sports a 6.7-inch display with a centered camera hole and thin bezels on the sides. You get a tall display with a 20:9 aspect ratio. The smartphone has a plastic back and frame. The Edge 20 Fusion has a side-mounted fingerprint scanner integrated into the power button. I found the placement of the scanner to be convenient enough to unlock the smartphone when holding it in either hand. The volume buttons are above the power button and need a stretch to reach. Motorola has placed a dedicated Google Assistant button on the left side, along with the SIM tray. The Edge 20 Fusion is IP52 rated and should handle splashes without any issues. At the bottom, you'll find a 3.5mm headphone jack, USB Type-C port, primary microphone, and loudspeaker. There's only a secondary microphone at the top. Motorola Edge 20 Fusion sports a big 6.7-inch OLED display with Full HD Plus resolution, 90Hz refresh rate, and support for HDR10. It has good viewing angles and you can tweak color modes as well as the color temperature. Powering the Motorola Edge 20 Fusion is the MediaTek Dimensity 800U processor, with either 6 GB or 8 GB of RAM. Storage remains unchanged at 128 GB for both variants, and you can increase this by up to 1 TB using a microSD card in the hybrid dual SIM tray. The Motorola Edge 20 Fusion has support for dual 5G as well as dual 4G VoLTE LTE. It also supports Bluetooth 5, dual-band Wi-Fi, NFC, and 6 satellite navigation systems. The Edge 20 Fusion packs in a 5,000 mAh battery and comes with a 30 watts turbo power charger in the box. Motorola's supplied charger has a USB Type-C output, and you get a Type-C to Type-C cable in the box. The Motorola Edge 20 Fusion gave me no reason to complain during the review period. It was quick to load apps, and my 6GB RAM unit had no issues multitasking. Motorola has implemented a RAM boost feature which can use some of the phone storage as additional RAM.